In this training video, we are going to talk about a new feature called Business Classification Recertification, which has been introduced for supplier profile management and can be updated by both the suppliers as well as a supplier administrator from a buying organization. So what this does is for those businesses that require to track business classification details of their suppliers, it has always been a challenge to keep this information up to date to the satisfaction of auditors. Now, a recertification tool has been added to the business classification section of the supplier profile that tracks last update date for the supplier's classification details and allow administrators to schedule reminder notification to be sent to each supplier as this information becomes due. What the advantage is, it significantly reduces risk and administrative burden for the buying organization because they will no longer need to manage this recertification process manually. So let's just show you how this can be done. So we'll log in as a supplier administrator or a purchasing super user or AP manager. So let's log in as an administrator here. So whichever responsibility has access to supply management or supply base will have this function available for to update. So in this case, we will go ahead and select purchasing super user. And then we'll select supply base. And from supply base, we'll go to suppliers. So this will bring you to supplier workbench. So we'll select a supplier called AST. We'll select this supplier AST UAT for this example. We'll click update. And on the left side, you will find business classification. So nothing new here. This feature has been always been there. What has been introduced is this particular column, expiry date. So I will go ahead and add a small business here and add an expiry date. So for training purposes, so that you can see how the notification works from a supplier standpoint, I will choose tomorrow's date. And what would happen is there are settings that will be looking at this date, and one day before, that is 28th, it will see on every date will see which are the license or classifications that are expiring tomorrow, and based on that it will send out reminder due dates to suppliers to make those changes, to recertify them for another year or 6 months, whatever the case might be. So in this case, 29th October has been selected for this classification, small businesses. And I'll go ahead and save this. Another point to note is even though there are multiple classification for the supplier to select, this control or this reminder notification does not work at line level. It works at supplier header level. So what it means is if you have more than one classification and two different expiry date, the supplier will obviously get a notification based on that particular due date reminder, but it wouldn't tell the supplier this is for which classification expiry. So it's not by line, it's more like for the entire classification that they have assigned themselves to. So once they receive the notification, they have to come back in, or the supplier administrator has to come back in and update the dates based on whatever information they get from the supplier for the new certification. So that's how it works. So this point has to be noted that the recertification reminder email notification does not work at line level, but at the header level of the classification. So now that we have saved this, so make this approved, because pending will not generate any notification. It has to be in approved status. Once it is saved, I will quickly go to a inbox where I'm getting the supplier emails for the training purposes and show you how it looks like. And the person who's going to get the notification is the contact that is assigned to this particular supplier. In this case, it will be this person who's going to get this notification of the recertification reminder. Another thing to keep in mind is that certification reminder checkbox has to be checked for the notification reminder to work. Otherwise, the email will not come. So if I go to inbox, I'll show you one sample email. So if I take this is how it's going to look like. The certification of your business classification is due. Please certify at the earliest. Due date recertification is 15th March 2012. So this is how it's going to look like for the suppliers when they get an email from the Oracle system. So based on this, as you can see, it does not say which kind of classification is expiring. It's more of a general information. So they have to log in to find out, okay, which one is expiring, and then restart the recertification process for that particular classification. So that's how it works. Since there are too many emails right now, it's very difficult to find out the ones that we just did. We can quickly search with the email address and see which we have received anything. Doesn't look like we have received anything yet, but a program runs in the background every 5 minutes, and it will send out the certification emails for all the suppliers that it finds in the system and whose certification is expiring within that particular range. The setup range that we have done for the recertification reminder will send out the emails accordingly. So that concludes our this training video of business classification recertification. It's a very useful feature. It eliminates a lot of manual tasks between buyers and suppliers, and it sends out the emails at the right time so that supplier has enough time to start the recertification process for their classifications. Thank you.